Bit of a sloppy track here at Soldier Field. Still getting some of the wraparound rain bands of a low-pressure system that's hovered over Chicago the last couple of days. Just a short time ago, this crowd loud enough to shake the foundations of this nearly century-old building. They are ready for football indeed in Chicago as their guys get set to do battle with the New York Giants.
Graham Gano set to kick off.
The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. This taken in about 4 yards deep.
Cordero Patterson on the return. The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
They'll run for the first time with Tariq Cohen. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Now 2nd and 11 from the 32. To throw, Kaepernick. The screen pass here to Cohen. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Now Kaepernick operating on the bootleg. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find him at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time.
The evidence was right there.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 23. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first.
Well, I haven't met an NFL player yet that doesn't use criticism as an edge, and Jimmy Graham has heard that a number of people think he's near the end of his career. He didn't put up the numbers he should have put up in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers. I think he's going to play with a huge chip on his shoulder. Nice catch there. And he wants to show flashes of that form that he exhibited early in his career with New Orleans and Seattle.
And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
It's a pickup of 3.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Now Kaepernick throwing on second down. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on third down.
Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive, but this is third down. From the gun, it's Kaepernick. Credit the Giants defense that time in pass coverage. Fourth down.
Not the desired outcome. But probably won't be the last time we see him take a shot downfield.
Fourth down.
So on fourth down, Cairo Santos on now for the Bears field goal. From the left hash, this from 37. Santos' kick is up and through, and it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. They'll run for the first time with Saquon Barkley. He'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll look to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Buster Screen. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. He's just got to be thinking, I hope that's not a harbinger of things to come. Very first pass of the afternoon picked.
And where do you go from here? Because when you start that way, do you allow that to seep into you and stay with you the rest of the game? Or do you find a way out of it? We're going to find out.
And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
2nd and 11 at the 20-yard line.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Working from the gun, it's Kaepernick. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call. Shotgun snap now for Kaepernick. That's Cordero Patterson hauling it in. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a first down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
With the score, Bears 3, Giants 0. Cairo Santos on for the field goal. A 37-yard attempt.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Their own 24-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Only gets a yard, but it's enough to set him up 1st and goal.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it. Not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. Because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball. And he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
Throw on 3rd and goal. Brings up 4th down. Solid coverage by the Bears D. And that one off the mark. A little late with a throw. On 4th down, on is Graham Gano for the Giants field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. Well, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
Taken in the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
Their own 24-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. Forced out to his left. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And he'll be taken down, but not before it gets into enemy territory. First down for the Bears, a gain of 15.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
You might be getting tired of seeing me. 49 the mic, watch 49. Ricky.
To throw, Kaepernick. That's complete to Mooney. They'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
We spent a lot of time talking about what's going on the field. How about off the field with the evaluation? And they spent a lot of time saying, we've got to get a rookie in here who has big playability. And that's exactly what we're seeing here early in his career.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. From 19 yards away. And the Bears will add on to their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him.
The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds in the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. So after the INT, it's Kaepernick. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
Now this will be caught by Mooney. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Kaepernick now on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And it's incomplete. He was trying to find Anthony Miller there, but it'll be second down. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Now Kaepernick again. Now they go screen. It's complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
First and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Kaepernick to throw again. That is hauled in by Jimmy Graham. Touchdown Bears. Jimmy Graham in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bears will extend their lead. This offense certainly looking a lot more comfortable here at home. They lost last week in the opener on the road, but there's something about that home opener that makes you feel more settled.
Yeah, I wish we could quantify it, too, because you're playing the same game. The field's the same, size. We know all of that. But being at home, sometimes when you do things well, you get that extra push from your home fans, and it elevates your game.
And in the driver's seat right now.
Dante Pettis on the return. The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this carries into the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. This one complete to Devontae Freeman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
New York.
This is Barkley, and he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
2nd and 6. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 46. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing. They're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
At the 34-yard line.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing now is Kaepernick. On the crossing route, complete. It's Robinson. Touchdown, Chicago! Allen Robinson, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Bears turn that interception into a touchdown.
I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone, and this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
25-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up! Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
You think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And they will score a pick-6 for a Bears touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Makes the score Bears 34, Giants 3. Cairo Santos set to kick off.
So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
This will make it into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they just had that pick-6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Open target here, Darius Slayton. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
1st down.
Well, remember, they tried to give him the ball and let him run on the last play, but I think the light bulb went off in their play caller's mind, and this time they get it to him the more conventional way, and it's much more successful as well.
He sets to fire deep. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the rookie, Jalen Johnson. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. I'm starting to wonder, Charles, if 5 interceptions, is that the last that we've seen of him?
Well, I think that a lot of people hope that's the last they've seen of him in this game, probably including himself. If this were baseball, The manager would have been at the mound already and asked for the ball, and he'd be in there getting a shower. But in football, you might have to go stand on the sideline and watch the rest of it and see if your backup can do any better. Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away.
Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35.
They'll take over first down 10 at their own 34-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch.
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Kyle Fuller.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
The Bears take over first.
They begin the drive on the ground with Cohen. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because I nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he is going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Kaepernick. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or 2 shy of midfield.
Intercepted.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drum. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. He's going to fire this thing deep right. This is caught inside the 15. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A gain of 32 that time. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A give to Barkley out of the gun. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. from 6 yards away. And the Giants are able to draw a bit closer. And that touchdown there, it's not going to get them a win. It makes things a little more respectable.
Yeah, a little more palatable going out in this ball game. A little something to build on going into the next game, but it won't alter the final score.
And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Kaepernick again here on 2nd and 10. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So the penalty yards marched off on the face mask. Here's 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at that. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
I absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows the punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. He's going to float this one deep right. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one good for 37 yards.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
10 yards, good for a Giant first down. And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. Back to throw now on first down. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. He'll look to throw. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. Give him 6 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
And it's 3rd down.
Making us look bad.
Are you kidding me? Really? Are you kidding me?
Looking to throw. Flush to his right. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. Well, I kind of got to give him credit. Another incompletion there, yes, but he's still trying to make plays outside the pocket.
Yeah, he's been hemmed in for much of the game. How about him getting outside there? And that's what you want to see from your quarterback. He's not giving up on this game, so every other player in the field has to say to himself, I can't give up either.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Can't get away, and he's taken down. It's Khalil Mack that time, shooting in there to get him to the ground. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
1st down, a run with Cohen. Oh, Cohen lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Now this throw caught left side. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game.
1st down.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
That's complete to Slayton. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down.
1st down, Giants.
Back to throw again. That's complete left side to Shepard. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. A 1st down carry for Barkley. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. Second and 5. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Darius Slayton, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Giants are able to cut into this lead. The Giant offense going to stay on the field as they'll go for 2.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than 1 play ready, because you may need multiples throughout a ball game. There's a great example right there. And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
They'll start by running the option to the right. He's got a 1st down and more inside the 30. Well, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column.
10 at the 27-yard line.
Oh, Kaepernick's going to throw it. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
Robinson.
2nd and 10 now from the 27.
To 2nd and 10.
From the gun, it's Kaepernick. And he'll complete this one to Patterson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield.